Welcome, everyone. Tonight, as you know, we're going to focus on neck, shoulders, upper back, and all of that will actually help to open up the heart center as well. The neck has the most mobile vertebra, so it's 7 cervical vertebrae, for obvious reasons. The reason that we get stress and pain in our necks, I think today is because of these puppies, and I know I've said to you several times, we've got to remember to get them at eye level. Basically, your head weighs between 10 and 12 pounds. That's just sitting in between your shoulders. So there's still a force of gravity with weight, but 15 degrees forward with your head tilted doubles the pressure on your neck. It can cause tension headaches. It can cause herniated discs in your neck, and it will, make your trapezius muscles less stable, and eventually the chest muscles can actually shorten to the point where, well, you see people like that. It's sad. When your head is 45 degrees forward, which is typically what you see people on the bus, people whatever, that's about 50 to 60 pounds of weight on your cervical neck. So if that doesn't impress upon you the importance of getting things at eye level, I don't know what will. So let's begin. Come on down onto your backs and draw your knees up and place one hand on each knee and just check in with your lower back, either making circles or just rolling back and forth. The wider your knees are, the more territory you can cover on your sacrum, your hips, your lower back. Now, place the soles of your feet on the floor with your knees bent, and you're going to take your arms and put them into the cactus shape. So the upper part of your arm should be level with your shoulders, and then lower your arms, top part of your arm and hand up towards your head, but in that cactus or field goal or football post position. Have your lower back neutral. So that means it's not pressing into the floor, nor do you have a whole lot of space under the lower back. Now, it's possible that your hands may not be resting on the floor. Don't worry about that right now. Don't force anything. Inhaling in place. Exhale. Try to relax your hands, however. And on an inhale, slowly stretch your arms up into the V position. So we're warming up our shoulder joints. Exhale, lower your upper arms onto the floor, and then the lower part of the arms back into that cactus shape. So they're all at right angles. You've got your arm coming out of your shoulder, shoulder height, and then the smaller, shorter part of your arm, the bottom half, in the cactus shape. Just notice what's going on in your shoulders. Just be curious about it. And always move mindfully. Don't force anything. Go slowly. Exhaling, relaxing your upper back. Inhale, stretch your arms up into the V position. Victory, reaching your fingers up towards the sky in the V. Exhale, bending at the elbows and lowering your arms into that cactus position. Exhaling. Inhaling, raise the arms up. Last time into the V, victory. Keeping your shoulder blades on the floor, stretching your fingers up. And then with your palms facing down, bring your arms beside your body. And bring your heels a little bit closer to your sits bones with your palms facing down, your fingertips pointing towards your toes. Lift your shoulder blades off the floor, tuck them under your heart. Press the small of your back into the floor and peel your spine off the floor. Now, if it feels okay, bring straight arms under your body. Interlock your fingers so your knuckles are pointing towards your heels. Rock from side to side. Try to bring your shoulder blades, the wings of your heart, close enough together so that they're almost kissing. So your arms are flat on the floor. If they are not flat on the floor, you are either going to hold this bridge pose or separate your arms and lower your torso onto the floor. I only want you to lower your torso onto your arms if they're flat on the floor, which means the lower and top part of your arms are both on the floor. So your torso is now either on your arms or on the mat or holding in bridge. Inhale, pressing up as high as you can. Exhale, lower your torso down onto your arms. Inhaling, pressing up. Release your arms and starting from the top of your spine, slowly lower all the way down. Once again, bring your arms up, or your knees up towards your chest. And then bring your knees together and take your arms out to the side, shoulder height. You can have your palms facing down, internally rotated, or palms can be facing up, externally rotated. Whatever feels good, choose that one. Keeping your knees, your feet, and your thighs glued together, slowly exhale both knees to the left and turn your head to the right. And notice the stretch through that right shoulder, your pectoral muscles. They're an important part of your shoulder. And then inhale, bring the knees slowly back to center. When you move slowly, you activate your core. Exhale, both knees over to the right, head to the left. Inhaling slowly back to center. One more time. Keep the legs bent at right angles and lower both knees to the left, head to the right. And your knees may not come down to the floor. Try to keep that right shoulder pinned down to your mat. Inhaling slowly back to center, activating lower abs and obliques, the muscles that wrap around your waist, part of your core. And exhale and release both knees, last time to the right and head to the left. And again, just be curious, notice what you feel in the shoulder or the neck area. Just warming things up. Inhale, come back to center. Bring your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around them. And then we're going to come up onto our knees. You can either roll over onto your side or place your hands underneath the backs of your knees and rock up. Come on over onto your hands and your knees into tabletop position. Your hands are directly under your shoulders, your knees are directly under your hips, and your spine is as long as you can make it. On an exhale, round your spine, drop your tail, tuck your chin, stretching your cervical vertebra, stretching your spine, and on an inhale, hollow out your lower back and curl your toes under and lift your tail and lengthen through your chest as you lift your head. Exhaling, releasing tension from the spine, the compression of gravity and or hunching in front of your devices. Inhale, curl your toes under and hollow out your lower back, lifting your tail, lengthening. And last time, flatten the tops of your feet, come into your last cat, rounding your spine, feel that stretch through the lower back, and then curl your toes under, hollow out your lower back, lift your tail, draw your heart slightly forward, and come back to tabletop. Extend your left leg straight out behind you and your right arm straight out in front of you. So this is strengthening the muscles in the shoulder, but just gently. Now, when it comes to the rotator cuff, we can have inflammation in the rotator cuff area, but if you've torn it or injured it, typically you need surgery, but if you just have a tendonitis, which I've had, you see a good physio, do the exercises, you can heal it. And release. Extend the other leg out and opposite arm. So how you know if you have a rotator cuff issue is if combing your hair in the back, doing your bra up, even lifting a pitcher of water if you feel weakness in the arm, any tingling or numbness, that tells you, what is that? Was that somebody else's? Was that my Bluetooth? No. Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, you'll know if you have a rotator cuff issue, but as I say, it could be tendonitis. Okay, and draw that arm back in. Now, we're going to do a variation on thread the needle, but we'll do the regular one because it's great for stretching out the deltoid muscle. So inhale the right arm up, reaching up, stretching up, exhale, thread the needle under the other arm and bring your shoulder and the side of your face onto the mat and tippy toe the fingers of the other arm straight out in front. So you're trying to get your shoulder and the side of your face onto the mat. Now, draw the arm that is in front back towards your face and bring it around your back, bending at the elbow so that the arm is kind of wrapping around your waist. So you haven't moved anything except the front arm. And then from there, slowly extend the arm out to the side to join with the other hand in sideways prayer, and then carefully inhale that arm straight up. Exhale, back down. And then use that same hand to press yourself up, and we'll come into a modified child's pose, taking your knees as wide as the mat, big toes touch, flatten the tops of your feet, and take your hips back towards your heels. If bending your knees is painful, then come into puppy pose, which means your knees will remain under your hips, your butt will stay up in the air, and you'll lower your forehead onto the floor with your arms out in front, or modify and make a pillow with your forearms in either position if having your arms out in front doesn't feel right tonight. So child's pose stretches, lengthens your spine, again, decompresses what has been compressed due to gravity or long hours of sitting. These are also reasons for tight shoulders, sore back, upper back, too many hours seated. I also mentioned in my email, inhale, come on up, that because your shoulders are part of your fifth chakra, if you feel unsafe to speak your truth, that can manifest also in the shoulders and the neck area. So let's take the left hand and sweep it up. So the opposite one that you did before, and thread the needle and try to release your shoulder and the side of your face to the floor, and then tippy toe the fingers of your right arm straight out in front. Breathe into whatever part of your body feels any stress or tension. And you may be feeling an intense stretch in your deltoid muscle, the top of your shoulder, and then tippy toe and draw those fingers back, and then take that right hand and just bring it around the top and back of your body. And if you can bend it at the elbow. So we're doing some stretching and strengthening of the shoulder and mobilizing the neck. And then take that top arm, your right arm, bring it to the side to meet the other hand in sideways prayer. Carefully inhale the arm up, stretching it up. Exhale, float it down, and then use that hand to press yourself up. And let's take one more child's pose. Knees as wide as the mat, so it's a modified child. Big toes touching, tops of your feet are flat, or you're taking puppy pose. If you don't care to bend your knees so much, and release your torso either between your thighs and your forehead on the mat, or if you need, create a pillow with your forearms. Inhale, come on up. Okay, grab a block, or if you're at home, whatever you choose to sit on. And when you place a block underneath your buttocks, be sure that you're perched on the edge of the block. As opposed to on top of the block, bring your sits bones to the edge of the block. If sitting cross-legged, if you're not able to sit cross-legged and sit up straight, and your knees can take it, you can always take 2 blocks, and you can sit with your knees bent in front. So choose what will work for you. Okay, so what we're going to do first, and I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. There's a bone, one bone in our body that doesn't attach to any other bones. It's called the hyoid bone, and it's just below your jaw in your throat area. So it's called the hyoid smile. But basically what we're going to do is press the chin back and down towards the center of your chest. Now release that, because I want you to notice what happens to your neck when you practice the hyoid smile. Okay, so once again, take the chin back and drop it. Notice the lengthening of your neck and strengthening as well. Now, you're going to take the palm of a hand, and I want you to press against your forehead, so there's just some resistance, and this just builds some strength in the neck muscles. And release, release. So there's actually, you know, it looks like nothing, but I'm sure you're feeling the back of your neck. And if you're not, maybe your neck muscles are nice and strong. All right, so once again, you're gonna tilt your chin down and press back. So you're engaging the muscles in your neck, and then you're gonna take the palm of your hand and you're pressing against your forehead. And release. Now, if you can take your hands behind your back, comme ça, grabbing your elbows. I want you to lower your chin once again towards your chest. Now, this actually gets really into your trapezius muscles, which is muscles that fan out. So you're dropping your chin towards your chest, and then inhale and lift the head up. And once again, drop the chin towards the chest. Inhale, head up, and shake the arms out. And then finally, we're going to do some neck rolls. So sitting up nice and tall, lifting the crown of your head up. Exhale, lower your chin towards the center of your chest. Inhale, head back up. Lower your right ear over to your right shoulder. Inhaling up. Left ear to left shoulder. And back up. One more time, right ear to right shoulder. Take your opposite fingers and hand on the opposite side and just tippy-toe your fingers out to the side so you get a really nice stretch in the side of your neck. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, lower to the other side, and then use your opposite arm. So your head's to the left, your right arm and hand fingers are tippy-toeing, kind of walking. And inhale, come back to center. And if your eyes weren't closed, just close them for a moment and allow the benefits of these movements to be absorbed, be integrated. Notice what your shoulders are doing. The perfect location, but we can't see it, we have to ask somebody else, is the opening of your ear over the center of your shoulder. There's a tendency for people to lead with their chins, whether they walk, even in practicing yoga, but you want to keep the hole in your ear, that canal, right over the center of your shoulder. Okay. Come on over. Again, onto all fours. I guess the music stopped, did it? I don't know. But you know what? Maybe that Bluetooth thing turned off too. I'll come over in a moment and see. It's off, right? No, it's on. Oh, it's on. Oh, okay. All righty. So curl your toes under and just come up into a soft downward dog, and let's just walk the dog. So one leg is straight, one is bent, and change. Now, make sure every time you can, let the weight of your head stretch out your cervical vertebra. So make sure you're not holding your head. Let it hang off your neck. Change. And change. And now bring your hands back towards your feet. And just let your upper body hang. Soften your knees, let your upper body hang, let your head hang, let your arms hang. You can do this if you're sitting in a chair in an office and you've got some privacy. Uttanasana, either standing or sitting in a chair, can release a lot of tension in the neck and the shoulders. And then pressing the soles of your feet into the floor, let's slowly roll up, keeping your chin tucked into your chest, your arms hanging too, and your head will be the last thing to come up. And then let's place our hands on our shoulders. And let's bring the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them back. Inhaling, draw the elbows forward, out to the side and back. Inhaling up. Exhale, back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And now let's change the direction. Inhaling, up. Exhale, forward. Inhaling back and up. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. And last time, inhaling and releasing. Okay, so some of you have been with me a long time. You've done this test with me, but it's always good to repeat this because it makes the point that if our shoulders are not back and open when we're lifting our arms, we risk injury, rotator cuff, stressing out, whatever. So I want you to prove this to yourself by just imagining. No, you don't have to imagine. It is the end of the day. You're all wiped out, right? Exhausted. Ugh. So you might be kind of like a little bit slouchy. So here's what I want you to do. And rather than being the perfect yogis with your sternum lifted and your shoulders back, we're just going to imagine that, you know, it's a normal day, tired, whatever. And so with your arms at your side, I want you to, and your shoulders slightly rounded, I want you to take, I don't care, pick an arm, pick your best arm, and just lift it out to the side and lift it up as high as you can go. Just go as far as you can go. And then notice where it feels like that's probably as far as you can go. All right, so lower it back down. Now, let's take the shoulders up and back, lifting up at the sternum. Let's take that same arm, same movement, lift it up. Notice the freedom. And float the arm down. So let's choose the other arm and we'll do a different movement, again, just to prove the point. So let your shoulders kind of collapse and round. Take the opposite arm and bring it to the front and take it as far as you can go. Just take it as high as it'll go. And then lower it down. And then bring the shoulders back, open up, lifting up at the sternum. If you only think of one thing, just think about lifting up at the sternum. And then let's do that same movement. And again, notice the freedom, the incredible range that you have when your shoulders are in the right position. Okay? You got it. All right, now, sometimes, and I get a lot of shoulder pain in between my blades and sometimes underneath. In fact, I'm getting a massage tomorrow night. But dehydration and, of course, just stress, it can get into the body, and that's sort of my Achilles heel is my left shoulder. Although I read once, too, it was something about being a good girl, which I'm not a bad girl, but I can be bad. So maybe that's what it is. Because emotions get stored, issues get stored in the tissues. So this is a great relief. Let's take, I'll do the mirror image. So take your left arm right across the body, lock it at the elbow or just below the elbow. So if you experience a lot of tension under the shoulder blades, under the scapulas, that's the anatomical name. In fact, I know some of you think I know a good deal about anatomy, and I like anatomy. I was thinking to become a forensic scientist when I was at U of T, because my boyfriend was studying to be a dentist, so he was dragging me into the gross anatomy lab looking at body parts. That was pretty fascinating. But I'm glad I didn't end up doing that, because I think working on cadavers would not have been as interesting as hanging out with real live people like you. Okay, so unlock. Take this arm up in between your shoulder blades. Now, try not to shove your head forward when you're doing that. So keep your head back, your ear canal over the center of your shoulder. Take the other arm and press down. So this gets into the tricep, a muscle that we rarely stretch. And then release and take the arm underneath and behind. Now, many of us will not be bringing our fingers together, but I'm on my more flexible side. So I will be, but this is a great way to open up the front of the body. And of course, get the shoulders back, and then release and give that a good shake out. Take the other arm, cross the body, lock at the elbow. So you're feeling a stretch in the top of the muscle, the deltoid. So typically, if you have a rotator cuff injury, too, to people who do a lot of racket sports, my sister, she's had surgery on one shoulder. She may be having surgery on a second shoulder. Obviously, like an automobile, our parts are designed for so much use before they wear out. All right, unlock. Take the arm carefully up and over into the center. Feel between your shoulder blades. Take the other arm and press down on the elbow. And then release that top arm and take the arm behind you. And just do what you can, but try to keep the head back, chest open and lifted. And let's release and give the arms a good shake out. Take your feet as wide as the mat. Interlock your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Bend your knees. Lift your hearts, look up. Exhale, lead with your hearts. Forward fold, lifting the arms up whatever amount you can. And lowering your torso between your thighs. Once again, please let your heads hang. If you're not sure, just move your head gently. You'll know whether you're holding or not. Release your arms. Walk your feet back in towards one another. Keep your knees soft. Feel your belly on your thighs. And slowly roll up one vertebra at a time, with your chin being and head being the last thing to come up. And then roll your shoulders back. And let's come up to the front for Surya Namaskar. If anybody needs a sip of water, please take one. Inhaling in place, exhale, hands in prayer. Step your feet apart, reach up, look up, arc back. Inhale, bring your feet back towards one another. Lift up out of your waist. Bend from the tops of your legs, reaching forward.
As you fold, fingertips to the floor, again, let the weight of your head stretch out your cervical vertebra. Let your head go. Step your left leg back and drop your knee to the mat. And then bring your hands onto your front thigh and make sure your shoulders stay right over your hips. You can leave your knee on the mat or lift up, press through the back heel, inhale and sweep the arms up, keeping the shoulders down, activating the fingers, pressing through that back heel. Turn your hands forward and spread your fingers apart. Now, if you do have shoulder injuries, then plank position isn't for you. Bring your knees to the floor and cross your feet at the ankle. If you're okay, try to take your plank position, pressing all 10 fingers into the mat, aligning your neck with your spine. So this is where we strengthen the neck, because now we are holding the head up, and you're pulling your belly in towards your spine. Breathing, developing upper body, shoulder and arm strength. Release your knees, flatten the tops of your feet, leave your hands where they are, and take your hips back towards your heels. Stretching your spine and stretching your shoulders. And then leaving your hands where they are. If you're able, drop your elbows and forearms to the mat, and then slowly come forward, staying nice and low, and releasing your chest, your sternum, and your chin when you can. If you're tight in the upper back or rounded, you'll find this difficult, but work with it, and you'll get rid of that hump and release some of the tension and stress in the upper back. Slide everything out behind you. Align your fingertips with the edges of your shoulders and your forehead on the mat. Now this is where you're going to really pay attention to your shoulders. Bring your elbows in towards your rib cage and then press your forearms down towards the floor. Roll an invisible alley with your nose until you're looking down at the mat. On an inhale, we're coming up into baby cobra. So you're really not using your hands. You're using the muscles in your back, lifting head, neck, chest off the mat. Strengthening the muscles that support your spine as well as protect your spinal column. There are many more benefits as well, but we'll just stay with those for now. Inhaling up, exhale, lengthen and lower. Curl the toes under and lift the hips up. Walk your feet a couple of inches forward, bend your knees. Press your belly onto your thighs, press your chest towards your knees, and align your ears with your inner arms. Make sure you're pressing all 10 fingers into the mat. And then press your sits bones towards the back wall and press your heels towards the floor. They may not touch the floor, they don't need to. This, of course, is stretching and strengthening the shoulders. Lift your left leg up, look at your left hand, and swing that foot as far forward as you can. If it doesn't go very far, drop the opposite knee, pick the foot up at the ankle, and place it near the front of the mat. Swing the other leg forward. Fingertips are on the floor. Don't hyperextend your knees here. If you need to bend them, that's fine. Arms beside your ears. But I would like you to pull your bellies in towards your spine to protect your lower back. Sweep the arms in front as you come to standing. Feet apart for balance. Look up, arc back. Inhale, feet come back together. Lift up out of your waist. Reach forward. Uttanasana. Again, let your head hang. Bend your knees. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Hands in prayer. Exhale to your heart center. One more round. Inhale. Exhale, hands in prayer.
feet apart, reach up, look up, arc back. Inhale, feet come back towards one another, lift out of your waist, bend from the tops of your legs, reaching forward as you fold, letting your head hang. Step your right leg back, drop your knee to the mat, and bring your hands onto your front thigh. Focus your gaze for balance, lifting the back knee off the floor. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, keeping the shoulders in their proper place, not reaching up high. Keeping shoulders down, rib cage in. Turn your hands forward, spread your fingers apart. Take the other leg back. And remember, you can do the modified push-up, plank pose. Otherwise, draw your heart center towards your thumbs, pull your bellies in, reach your crown forward. Nice stretch for your fascia, your plantar fascia on your feet. Developing upper body strength. And tatiksha, the ability to endure hardship. Release your knees, flatten the tops of your feet. Leave your hands where they are. Take your hips back towards your heels. Stretching out the lower back, the entire spine. Your shoulders are up by your ears now because we're stretching through this area. And then leaving your hands where they are. Slowly come forward. See if you can get your elbows and forearms on the mat, nice and low. Your bum stays high as you bring your chest and your chin onto the mat. Slide everything out behind you. Align your fingertips with the edges of your shoulders. If you're thinking to take the fuller expression of cobra, then take your feet a little wider apart and point and press your baby toes into the mat. This creates a little more space through the sacral area. And then roll the invisible alley with your nose to lengthen your neck. On an inhale, we'll all come up to baby cobra, lifting head, neck, shoulders, and chest. And then if you're going to continue, press the floor away from you. Don't let your elbows wing out. Try to keep them aligned with your wrists and your shoulders. Most of us will not be straightening our arms unless you're totally flexible in your lower back. You can always come back to baby cobra if you feel you went too far. One more breath in. Exhale, lengthen as you lower. Bring your feet back towards one another if you separated them. Come on up onto your knees, and then lift your hips up and walk your feet a few inches forward. And you're on the balls of your feet as you press your belly onto your thighs and your chest onto towards your knees and your ears aligned with your inner arms. This lengthens your spine. And now press your sits bones towards the back wall and your heels towards the floor. And breathe. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Look at your right hand and swing that foot as far forward as you can, or pick it up at the ankle, move it back to the front, and then let your body hang in Uttanasana. Arms beside your ears, pull your belly in to protect your lower back, and engage your thighs. Sweep the arms in front, reaching up, feet apart for balance. Look up, arc back. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Hands in prayer. And flat out and relaxing flat on your backs. Draw your right knee in towards your chest, interlock your fingers 2 inches below. Take your
left hand on the outside of your right knee and bring it across the body. Extend your right arm out to the right side. So this gets into your hips a little bit, but it also stretches out that right shoulder and releases any tension in the spine, the lower back. Always send your breath to the part of your body that's holding the most tension, tightness, stress. Let your breath create space. Breathe into it. So again, we're stretching. You have major, minor pectoralis muscles. They're in the front. Inhale, come back to center. Keep that knee bent. Draw the left knee up and then extend the right leg down in front. Place your right hand on the outside of your left knee and draw it across your body and extend your left arm out to the side. Inhale, come back to center. Draw the left knee in and draw the right leg in. And place your hands underneath the backs of your thighs, or we're going to roll up to sitting, or you can roll over onto your side and then use your top arm to press back up. It was about a year ago that I took a bad fall on the ice, and that was not an option for me to rock up. Okay, so straighten your right leg out to the side. So I'll do the mirror image, and your left heel in towards your perineum. Lift yourself up from behind and sit as tall as you can. So this is going to be like a bow and arrow kind of movement with our arms. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Lift out of your waist. Exhale, go sideways over the straight leg. Take your time. Take hold with the lower hand, whatever part. Now, if you flex your foot, your toes will be closer. And then you're reaching with your top arm as far as you can. And then as if you were pulling the bow back, you're going to take that top arm, pull back, and stretch it out. And come back. And as if you were pulling the bow back, you can clench your fist, stretching, reaching. And come back one more time. Draw the bow back. And release. Bring that leg into the center. Take the bent leg to the outside of the knee. Interlock your fingers 2 inches below the knee and pull your torso right up against your thigh so you feel your sits bones, your ischial tuberosities pressing right into the floor. Flex the foot of the straight leg. Place your left arm behind you to prop yourself up. Inhale the right arm up. Again, you have an option here. If your shoulder can handle bringing the elbow to the outside of the knee, okay. If not, you may wish to wrap your arm around your knee, whatever feels good. Inhale to lengthen and really get those sits bones pressing into the earth. Exhale, twist whatever amount you can.
Inhaling. Exhale. Twist to the other side. And come back to the center. Take your left leg straight out to the side and bring the opposite leg bent, heel into the perineum. Again, lift up from behind. So the sole of your foot should be next to your thigh. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sideways over the straight leg. Bottom hand takes whatever the furthest part of the leg or foot you can reach. And then inhale to stretch the top arm as far over the leg as you can, and then pull the bow back, stretching and reaching that right arm back and up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, pull the bow. Exhale, back. And last time, inhale, pull the bow. And bring the arm down. Bring that straight leg into the center. Take the bent leg and place it outside of your knee. Interlock your fingers 2 inches below, and then pull your torso right up against your thigh. Flex the foot of the straight leg. Place your right arm behind you to prop yourself. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, twisting, turning, elbow either wrapped around the knee or to the outside of the knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhaling, twisting. So the spine is involved in pretty much everything we do. We don't do a lot of twisting in normal movement, so that's the importance of twisting to release the tension, the tightness, the almost unidimensional movement of the spine during the day. It seems it's either straight up and down, slightly hunched, but rarely twisting. And there are a myriad of benefits for our twist positions as well. Excellent for purging all of your abdominal organs and glands of impurities and toxins. One more inhale to lift up. Exhale, slowly release and twist to the other side. Exhale, come back to center. And then fold your legs under. Come on over onto your knees. Curl the toes under. Draw the fingers back towards the toes. Please let your head hang and slowly roll up, letting your arms hang, keeping your chin tucked into your chest, stacking one vertebra on top of the next. And once you're up, take your shoulders up to your ears, exhale, and roll them back. All right. So Warrior 2 and Trikonasana are excellent for opening up the shoulders and strengthening that entire upper body area. So coming up to the fronts of your mats, let's step the right leg back 1 leg length. Make sure your front left leg is 90 degrees forward and your back foot about 15 degrees forward. Keep your shoulders right over your hips, bend your front knee. Look down, make sure that you can see your big toe inside of your knee. And rather than having all your weight in the front of your body, make sure you're pressing into the outside of your back foot. So you're really balanced and distributing the weight. So inhale, reaching the arms up to shoulder height. 1 arm forward, 1 backwards. No, other way, lovey. Yep. She thinks she's in the ballet. Okay, so lower your shoulders, lengthen your neck. Lift up at your sternum. Lower your back arm down your back leg and reach the other arm straight up. Reaching up, stretching up, and looking up. And then windmill your torso back to the center. Straighten your front leg. You're going to keep them straight. And then you're going to reach forward, not down. You're reaching forward. So your hip is going, your back hip's going backwards. And then lower your front arm inside of your front leg. But keep that top arm reaching up so that your top shoulder is directly above your bottom shoulder. Nice, everybody. Lots of people want to reach down to the floor and lose the integrity of the posture. So if we were up against a wall, both your shoulders would be touching. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, lower your arms and bring your front leg forward and stretch it out, or shake it out, I should say. Okay, take your left leg back 1 leg length. Have the heel of your front foot create a straight line through the arch of your back foot. Bend your front knee. Now your calf should line up with your heel, and your knee should be pointing out over your middle toe. So again, as I say, there's a tendency for people to lean the body forward. Resist, keep your shoulders over your hips, and then extend your arms out, and your wrists should be basically approximately over your ankles. Have a look at the arm behind you, that it's level with the arm in front. And then lower your shoulders and lengthen your neck. Fix your gaze over your middle fingertips, pressing into the outside of your back foot. That takes some of the weight, helps to balance. Warrior 2. So this is strengthening the shoulder area. Then lower your back arm down your back leg, but reach up with your top arm. Otherwise, if we start to go down, we kind of compress and crunch through the torso area. We don't want to do that. We want to create space. So reach up with your top arm, exalted, peaceful warrior. I like to say I'm a warrior, not a worrier. Okay, and then bring your arms back into warrior 2. Straighten your front leg and keep it straight, and then reach forward. And when you can't reach any further, organically let that front arm fall inside of your front leg. Reach the other arm straight up. So the energy is going up. You're reaching up, you're stretching up. Inhale, come back to center, lower your arms, and give your legs a good shake out. Okay, you're now ready for eagle. Garudasana, eagle arms and legs, although if balancing doesn't feel like it's going to be a fit tonight, and sometimes it's just really difficult, but I will show you the eagle arms. We're going to do the arms first. So this is the focus of the class. You're going to take your, I'm not going to do the mirror, I'm going to say this time, you're going to take your right arm under your left. And then I want you to reach around, and can you grab your shoulder blades? Can you feel them? Okay, if you can't feel yours, maybe you feel somebody else's after class. I know you guys. Okay, now releasing, and you may only be able to get your hands, the backs of your hands together, or maybe you can bring one hand around the front. Just do what you can here, be very mindful. With the right arm under the left, if you want to do the whole eagle pose, you can just stay here and get this beautiful stretch in the shoulder area, or if you want to try the balance posture, because your right arm is under your left, you're going to bring your right leg on top of your left. Okay, your right arm is under your left, so you're going to balance on the left foot, and you need to bend your knees a lot, and then lift that right leg up and wrap it around. And you know what? If that just feels like nah, you can just place the toes on the floor outside of the other foot, and then bend your knees a lot. And you're basically doing it, but you're kind of propping yourself up. And that's okay. And release. Bring the arms up. Exhale. Let's bring the left arm under the right. Might be harder, might be easier. So again, you're giving yourself a hug. All right. So now, let's see what happens on this side. You may have a different flexibility. Don't force anything, please. So with your left arm under your right, your left leg will go on top of your right. Okay, so now you're going to balance on your right leg. Focus your gaze for balance. Wait for your own inner cue. You have to bend the standing leg a lot. And release and sweep the arms up. Take your feet wide apart. Come into your five-pointed star. Hinge from your hips forward. Tense your fingers on the floor. Inhale, sweep the left arm up, reaching up, stretching up, maybe looking up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, sweep the other arm up, reaching up, stretching up. Exhale, float it down. Let's lunge over to the left side, bringing bum as close to heel as possible. Up and over to the other side. Into the center, walk your feet in. If you need to put any socks or anything on that's warm, please do so, and then come into Shavasana, flat out and relaxing, please. This is the opportunity for, oh, by the way, if you have blocks, and we did this last week, I think, I find if you take them right under, at the tops of your legs, you can put the blocks together horizontally in the medium position, or the lowest position, I guess, blocks together, and they're not under your butt, they're just at the top of your legs. Check it out, see if you find that comfortable. I think it feels good for the lower back. Palms are facing up in the open and receiving position. Reach your arms towards your feet and then let them go. Let your feet splay out, separate the biting surfaces of the teeth, relax the jaw, and let your bodies be soft and heavy. Notice your breath as it travels and lifts the belly, and your exhalation, letting the belly fall. Just allow everything to be completely organic at this point. Inhaling the life force long, full, and deep. And deep. Exhaling. Long, full, deep. Inhaling. Belly, diaphragm stretching, chest filling. Exhale, letting it all go. One more time. Long, full, deep. Inhaling. And let it go. Stretch your arms over behind your heads. Reach and stretch. Point feet far. Flex and point. And drop your arms down by your side. Inhale, stretch your arms skybound. Reach and stretch. Point feet far. Flex and point. And drop your arms down by your side. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana. You can also come into a semi-fetal position, rolling over onto your side, using your bottom arm as a pillow. This is a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. Prayer is not asking. It's a longing of the soul. It can be an admission of one's weakness. It is better in prayer to have a heart without words than words without a heart. No beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart. And if you wish, we can chant Om, the seed of all mantras, together once. Inhaling. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace. Namaste.